Have you ever looked at your best friend and wondered, what if? What if the person who knows all your secrets, your fears, your smiles, was actually the one? But love, it's a tricky thing. It doesn't knock on the door when you're ready. It walks in quietly, disguised as laughter, late-night talks, and shared silences. This is the story of Ryan and Emily, two best friends who swore they'd never fall for each other. Until life, fate, and one single moment changed everything. They met in college. Ryan, the calm, grounded guy everyone leaned on. Emily, the loud, sunshine-hearted girl who could turn any bad day good with her smile. They clicked instantly. Not romantically, just instantly. Study sessions turned into coffee breaks into 2 a.m. calls, and those calls into memories neither of them ever planned to make. People often teased them. "You two look cute together." Ryan would laugh it off. "Yeah, but we'd kill each other if we dated." Emily would nod, pretending that thought never crossed her mind. But sometimes, when Ryan would smile at her across a crowded cafe, something in her chest would tighten, and she'd quickly look away. Years passed. They grew up together. Ryan dated a few girls. Emily had her share of relationships too. But somehow, they always ended up back at each other's apartments, comforting, laughing, existing. One winter night, after Emily's breakup, she showed up at Ryan's door, eyes red, voice cracked. He didn't say anything, just wrapped her in a hug. For a few seconds, it felt like the world had stopped. His heartbeat was steady against her cheek. Something unfamiliar, yet familiar, stirred inside both of them. They pulled away, too quickly, and laughed it off. But neither of them slept properly that night. Things started to change. The way they looked at each other, the way silence suddenly became heavy between them. When Ryan saw her laugh with another guy, something inside him twisted. Jealousy, disguised as protectiveness, and when Emily caught him flirting with someone else, her smile didn't reach her eyes anymore. They both knew something was shifting. But saying it out loud meant risking the one thing they both couldn't lose, their friendship. So they stayed quiet, pretending everything was the same, even when their hearts screamed otherwise. It happened on a rainy evening. They were at Ryan's apartment watching movies, arguing about pizza toppings, the usual. The power went out. Laughter faded into soft silence, and all that remained was the sound of rain. Emily turned to say something, and found Ryan already looking at her. For a second, they didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't think. Then Ryan whispered, "Em, what are we doing?" She smiled nervously. "Being stupid?" And then it happened. One look, one breath. One kiss that shouldn't have happened, but did. A kiss that rewrote years of friendship in a single heartbeat. The next morning wasn't romantic. It was awkward. The coffee was silent, the air heavy. They didn't know what to say. Was it a mistake or something real? Days passed and they tried to act normal. But the laughter felt forced now. The comfort tainted with fear. Emily pulled away. Ryan noticed but didn't stop her. Maybe it was easier to lose love than to ruin friendship. Until one day, she told him, "Ryan, I can't do this. I don't know what we are anymore." And he replied quietly, "Maybe we were never meant to define it." They drifted apart. No more calls. No more shared dinners. The silence was louder than any argument, but time has a strange way of revealing truths. Ryan realized it wasn't about fear of losing her. He'd already lost her the day he didn't fight for what they could have been. and Emily, she realized love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet certainty of knowing someone sees you, really sees you, even when you pretend to be fine. 5 years passed. Ryan was living in another city, successful but strangely incomplete. Emily had moved on too. New job, new friends, but every time she heard a certain song, memories came rushing back. One evening, fate crossed their paths again, at a friend's wedding. Time had changed their faces, but not their eyes. They talked, awkwardly at first, then softly, like nothing had changed. Ryan smiled. "You still order extra cheese on pizza?" Emily laughed. "And you still hate it?" Silence fell again, the kind that said everything. Before leaving, Ryan turned and said, "Em, maybe we crossed the line once, but maybe that's where we were always meant to be." She looked at him, eyes glistening. "Maybe," she whispered, "some friendships are just love stories that never had the courage to begin." And as she walked away, Ryan realized, some people stay in your heart even when they don't stay in your life. Because the line between friendship and love isn't meant to be defined. It's meant to be felt. Maybe you've been there too. Fallen for a friend, hesitated, and wondered if it was worth the risk. Sometimes the most powerful love stories aren't the ones that end with happily ever after, but the ones that teach us what love really means.